In 2036, a civil war has taken over Eastern Europe. American troops have arrived in the area to act as peacekeepers, especially in the lawless frontier controlled by warlord Victor, whose face has been seen by only a few people. Victor Von-TM's power has been growing so fast that the Pentagon has decided to use robotic soldiers known as GUMPs. During the GUMPs' first mission, the team gets ambushed and soon the robots start getting destroyed. The field soldiers try their best to keep their defenses, but they are slowly getting killed as well. At the base, Lieutenant Harp is keeping an eye on the fight through the drone he controls. Because Hutam's always been a drone pilot, Hutam's never been in an actual warzone, and this whole deal is rather mundane to him. Suddenly he notices an unidentified truck coming towards the soldiers and reports it to Miller, asking for permission to launch a missile to destroy the vehicle since it may be a threat. However, Miller rejects the idea because some of his men are still trapped. Displeased with this, Harp asks his partner Bale to confirm the airstrike with their captain, but he rejects him as well. Harp still thinks the truck is too dangerous, so he disobeys orders and decides to launch the missile anyway, blowing up the vehicle and killing a bunch of American soldiers that he only sees as collateral damage. Sometime later, Harp is brought to court-martial, where he defends his decision because he killed 2 men and a bunch of robots, but saved Miller and 38 other soldiers. The higher Ps decide that Harp needs to learn what a real war zone and death are like, and send him to Camp Nathaniel, the American military base in Ukraine. When he arrives at the camp, Harp notices there are GUMPs everywhere, including some shaped like dogs. Then he meets Colonel Eckhart, who reminds him that if he survives the mission, he'll himself go back to the Air Force, but if he dies, his story will teach others not to disobey. Eckhart sends him to Block 13, warning him that the captain is no timid like them. Harp enters a building where he finds no soldiers, only scientists working on making and repairing a GUMPs. There are lots of those robots around. Here too. By following the sound of old music, he finds a room at the back and meets Captain Leo, who recites Harp-TM's file from memory and calls him out for being very cold. Then, Leo grabs some stuff from a fridge while explaining their next mission. They must deliver vaccines to a clinic going through a cholera outbreak. Leo explains he belongs to Marine Special Operations, meaning he locates and removes advanced weapons from insurgents beyond the wire. Harp does know, team, to understand why such a soldier has so many regular cabinets, so Leo points out, that keeping everything on paper means Russian hackers can access it. After making Harp sign a non-disclosure agreement, Leo tells him all about Victor, the Russian warlord responsible for a bomb in Ukraine that killed more than 25,000 people. They're TM's militia, defending the independence of Ukraine. But Victor is planning to get to the Sistema perimeter, where Russia, TM's nuclear bombs have been kept since the Cold War. They must stop Victor from using those nukies. So after they deliver the vaccines, they must gather intel on his next move. They'll be leaving in a few minutes, so Leo goes to the changing room to get ready, and Harp is shocked, to see Leo, TM's real body. It turns out that the captain is actually an android super soldier. On their way out, Lep explains he is TAI, like all the GUMPs, and that his existence is classified. However, when he sees other soldiers mistreating the GUMPs, he immediately calls them out for it. He also reveals that Harp was designed just because Leo chose him specifically because he needs someone that can think outside the box. While Harp puts their things in the car, TM is suddenly